In a continued effort to find the one bag to rule them all, today we are reviewing the Mission Workshop Rummy, which is a 27-liter messenger bag that is frankly built as bulletproof as some of the GoRuck stuff, which is to say that's a good thing. Now here's about that point in the video where I would try to hang off of this thing to see if it can handle my body weight, of which, I'll be honest, I actually think that it might be able to. However, I can only afford with so many head injuries, so I'm gonna pass on that one this time. Anyway, what we wanna find out today though is if this Mission Workshop bag, by the way, if you haven't heard of Mission Workshop, you should go over to their website. I think it's like missionworkshop.com, probably. I don't know. Check out their stuff. They got a pretty cool set of products. Nice little philosophy. Everything is hand-built and homemade in the USA. Kind of cool. Made out of 1000D Cordura. And anyway, what we want to find out though today is if this bag is any good and if you should buy one yourself. Now at first glance, I want to be perfectly honest and transparent with you. I really like this bag, but I do not recommend it. What? And it's not because it's a bad bag, because it isn't. It's actually a fantastically crafted and designed bag, but it's just not really good for my needs. For that matter, I'm not really sure how good it is for travel. I may get some disagreement on here, and actually that's maybe what I'm hoping for, is somebody can maybe weigh in on their opinion on whether this thing is like a good travel bag. But we will get into that as to why I feel that way a little bit later. First things first. Super premium, comfortable strap. You've got the padded shoulder body area right there. And the whole idea is that you can pop this thing on, and then it has one of these, where's the bed here? Where is the thing? Right here. It's got I'm wearing it incorrectly. But it's got one of these body stabilizer things right here. Basically, as you're wearing it, it's supposed to go like this. There we go. God, it's how ridiculous can it be to put on a frickin' bag? Anyway, the whole idea behind this little body stabilizer thing right here is that as you are biking down the road, this won't move around. And I gotta say, I absolutely love that, because one of my biggest complaints about any travel bag is as you're futzing around in the airport, or again on your bike, motorcycle, whatever, as you're bending down, leaning over, twisting around to pick things up, whatever, the bag shifts and it gets in the way and it's annoying. So as a result, they give you this body stabilizer, which I think is a really nice touch. The hardware on this belt is impressive. Nice aluminum stuff, hardcore military-esque, powder-coated blue. Love the look of it. The black on blue look never goes out of style. And everything about it just feels comfortable and good. It's nice and wide. It's like a seat belt, basically. I mean, you really literally could pull a Nathan Drake and like throw this thing over like a mountainside cliff and hang off of it for dear life. If you needed to, but you probably shouldn't risk it. Anyway, so that is to say that everything on this thing is very well constructed. You've got two Velcro strips right there for some patches. They also double as the ability to do the whole roll-up top thing. The nice thing about the Rummy is that it can be used in either a traditional messenger mode, which is basically like where the flap just goes down and you can kind of clip it in with these buckles. I do wish that they gave you Cobra buckles or like metal buckles. I don't know, every time I see a bag with these cheap plastic buckles, it makes my stomach buckle, my knees buckle, whatever. But I will say, and by the way, GoRuck uses these cheap plastic buckles on their bags too. They work just fine. They do the job. It's kind of like, you went premium everywhere else. Why didn't you go premium there? But be that as it may, you can use it as regular messenger mode or as like a roll top mode, which is where you just roll this thing up and then you can use this little flap to keep the flap rolled down. I actually don't really understand the benefit of that other than it gives you easier access to the internal pockets, which I guess we'll go ahead and talk about next. But that's really about it. I still don't think that actually makes this bag any better for traveling, which I will, as I said, get into a little bit more later on. You have this one big flappy pocket here, lots of Velcro. It's a good thing or a bad thing. Makes a lot of noise, but it's an efficient way of closing something out. Big and deep, nice and deep pockets. I will get B-roll, get some roll of that stuff. Waterproof lined. Like everything on this bag is just like, it's waterproof central. So that means that you could take your important like documents that you're using to like, you know, get into another country with or something like that, and like, you know, sneak into the borders of Uruguay, and you can just put them right in there, and they'll be safe from the rain of Uruguay. Has anybody ever been to Uruguay? I've never been to Uruguay. Is it nice this time of year? Anyway, so that's it. So then the pockets do expand slightly, which is nice because it just gives you a lot of room to put stuff in there. On the bottom here too, there's a little place to lash some stuff like that. Nice touch. Put this down. By the way, there are little internal buckles on there if you want to use this thing if you want to use these buckles right here to make sure the flap stays closed. It is kind of overkill, right? You've got both the flap, the Velcro flap, as well as buckles to make sure that this thing stays down. I guess that is how they call this thing, like how you could maybe make this a better travel bag, which, you know, I'm not so sure about. Well, I will get into that a little bit more later on, if you can travel with this thing or not. Anyway, you also then, of course, have this big waterproof zipper pocket right here at the top. Massive, massive amount of storage space in there. By the way, 27 liters. This thing is like, you could pretty much bring your whole frickin' house with you to wherever you're going. You've got one big zipper pocket at the very back of it where you can fit everything. Of course, waterproof lined in there. And then sort of at the front side, you've got another big zipper, which will allow you to put, and it's sort of like separated. It's kind of a little bit hard to see again. I'll get some burls, where you can push more things in there. Again, waterproof lined. Zip that right back up. It does have a dual zipper, so that way, like, basically you can, no matter like whether you're wearing it like on your like left or right, you should be able to like zip it closed with no problem. Again, overkill, but not a bad thing. Then you zip it up, of course, and then you're done. And then the coup de grace here is the flap, which allows you access to the main pocket. I mean, just check out that cave. I mean, you need a frickin' headlamp to navigate your way through that. And I mean, it is just storage for days. I think my voice echoed in it. Massive amounts of storage. Here's my problem with it. When you are wearing this thing as a messenger bag, which you are probably going to want to do because, you know, it's a messenger bag. When you try to get into it, push the desk out of the way here. When you try to get into it here, the flap is so frickin' big that, like, you know, when you're trying to get through it there, I mean, like, there's no real good way of getting in there. That main pocket is really only there for, like, I mean, if you want to put your shoes or your desktop computer, I mean, something in this massive cave of a storage pocket that is, again, waterproof lined, which I love. It's basically not easy or quick access. And if you keep it in this messenger mode, nothing on it is particularly quick access, right? Because, like, if these are buckled down, then you gotta open this up, and then you've gotta sort of like fumble with these flaps. I mean, I guess you can sort of like, you know, fold this out of the way, but then you gotta get in through that with that Velcro. I mean, you gotta have the strength of a beast. And then these pockets, even though they sort of expand, the top of them isn't elastic. So basically, like, trying to like futz with your hand in there is a little bit challenging. And then, of course, if you want to then like unzip this, just nothing is quick about this bag. Which leads me to my point about traveling with it. I probably wouldn't. It is an outstanding bag, fantastically built, designed, whatever. And if you are a true messenger, like a bike messenger where you're like going from, I don't know, maybe like home to office and you're carrying a laptop and like, frankly, like a lawyer's office worth of filing cabinets and shit in here, then this thing is going to be pretty, I mean, there's probably going to be very few better options. I mean, this thing will carry anything you want and it will protect it from the elements. But if you are somebody that is going in and out of customs, TSA, and you're having to fiddle in an airplane, in an airport lounge, to try to get your laptop, your book, your whatever out of it, then this thing is going to be cumbersome and annoying. And okay, yeah, maybe that's not what they designed it for, and that's fine, which is why I wanted people's input about that in the comments section. So, you know, make sure you comment in the comment section about what you think. But does that make this the one bag to rule them all? And the answer is no, because the one bag to rule them all would be one that's going to be awesome both on a bike and both in an airport, in my opinion. So do I recommend the Mission Workshop Rummy? Yeah, absolutely. If you are a messenger that like is carrying stuff on their bike and like, I don't know, the king sent you with the decree of the crown to the other castle to make sure that they are aware that winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Then yeah, this bag is going to be almost probably second to none. But if you are like me and you just want something that can casually get you from home to office to airport to Germany to Japan, still carry a lot of crap but have kind of quicker, easier access to things, and I think you should probably look elsewhere. So again, do I recommend it? Yes, but only for a specific purpose. By the way, it's also worth noting, and not that this is a very big deal to me, although I've had some people in other videos mention it, it is also worth noting that this bag really cannot stand up on its own. Now, obviously, if you had something in it, such as an anvil, it probably could, no problem. But otherwise, that's what you get. That is the Mission Workshop Rummy. If you have any questions about it, let us know. Again, well built, a lot of straps. Going to try to get some B-roll of this thing so you can get a really in-depth look. If you have any questions about it, let us know. Otherwise, please like and subscribe this video and check out our Patreon, and we will be back with another video really soon.